Alright, this is Michael Skewes D. Michael D. Skewes. We're gonna, me and Gary, who's with me, roadieing for me and all my bands and stuff, we're gonna talk about the old days as much as we can. And I'll try to think of stuff too, you know, with, you know, Wasp and Rat and all those other idiots. But he's got some stories together with Motley Crue and all that crap. So there was one time we were at a rehearsal studio called Audible Rehearsal in Burbank, and we were in the middle room, and Motley Crue was rehearsing for, rehearsing for
Girls.
Was it Girls?
Yeah, I saw the two girls that were coming out as I was leaving.
Yeah, okay, so they were rehearsing for Girls, yeah. And they had the big room, they had everything in there, you know, tons of Marshalls and Ampegs and Tommy's stupid drum set and all sorts of crap. And they would drive their Harleys into the studio and everything. But we went in there, we snuck in there and stole a bunch of picks and drumsticks and cymbals and all sorts of anything we could get our hands on. But what do you remember of that?
That wasn't too obvious. And then the band, the Bangles, were in there, and the drummer Rudy Stiletto, he stole the Bangles Zildjian Platinum Series cymbals.
Yeah, the drummer of my band, Trick or Treat.
Yeah, with Mandy.
Yeah, he stole the whole new
Zildjian Platinum Series cymbals, and they were like 400. I think they were $10 an inch. No, $20 an inch or something.
Something like that. So we had to steal them from Rudy
to get beer for
to get beer money, and then we went to the Seventh Veil and got rid of that money. Party. Yeah. So that's that. What else is there?
Well, one time we were up at Hot Tracks in Sunland with Fatal Distraction.
Yeah.
And me and Tomato, Robert, his nickname was Tomato, we had a coffin because we'd carry Trey in the coffin. And after, so stupid, after the show was over, me and Tomato, we were drunk, and we were had a beer in each hand, and we were dragging the brand new coffin and scraping it on the floor, and we got in a lot of trouble for that by Trey.
Oh, poor Trey. They didn't have to pay crap for this coffin because we got it for nothing because they put a dead body in it, and then it was the wrong.
But it was a nice coffin.
Yeah, it was the wrong coffin, so they took the body out. So by law, you can't use it again. So they just gave it to us, and they would get all freaked out, pissed off because
JD goes on. Oh, look what they're doing to the coffin, like a little pussy.
And JD's gonna see this. Oh well, JD.
You're alright though, JD. You're alright. Except for that night.
Yes, there. What else is there? Well, were you with me when we saw Van Halen rehearsing down at
in Burbank?
Yeah, in Burbank at what's it? Visions.
Yeah, Visions, yeah.
Yeah, we were sitting there listening to Van Halen, and then we were right by the door, and then they stopped playing and came out, and we freaked out. We were like 14, 15.
Eddie Van Halen was like 4 feet tall.
Yeah.
They were guys that were all partying down there. David Lee Roth.
Yeah. They were just as surprised as we were.
Yeah. That was down by Colleen, right?
Yeah.
Telephone.
Nah, I'm not gonna get that. It's not mine.
And we all got fired from the band. I got fired from Fatal Attraction like 3 or 4 times.
We'd always have these band meetings.
Yeah, those were gay. Me and Mike and Tomato would show up drunk and stoned all the time. And then we'd end up getting thrown out of those.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
But people want to hear about other things when what is
What about when we dropped Chris Holmes off in the trash can?
Right. Chris Holmes needed to be dropped off.
We dropped him off at Audible, and he just jumped in the trash can. I'm gonna sleep here.
Well, yeah, we were at the Troubadour, and he says, "Give me a ride to Burbank," and we gave him a ride to Burbank, and he jumped out of the car, and he jumped into a
big metal trash can.
Yeah, big trash bin, and closed the friggin' lid and went to sleep. Chris Holmes, man, he's crazy. He's a mean man.
Yeah, he's a nut. I remember we were at Motley Crue at Santa Monica Civic, and I don't know who it was. There was like a box of Milk Duds, and there was like 4 or 5 of them left, and somebody threw them out, and he grabbed them and took them out of the trash can, and he started eating them.
Oh, jeez.
That was nuts. What else was there?
Oh, I don't know. Let me see.
We're not very prepared. Plus,
no.
Our memory has a lot of damage to it. From
yes.
Past partying.
Yeah.
But as you see, we're drinking coffee. I am now.
Yeah, I'm just drinking Dr. Popper.
Remember Bucky?
Bucky. The Bucktooth Bandit.
Remember he said we beat the shit out of his drum set, and he says, "Hey man, did you fuck on my set, Mike?" Oh, this is kind of going nowhere.
Yeah, people want to hear about.
We remember Motley Crue at, like you said before, Motley Crue was at Audible.
Yeah. Oh, there was another time when we were rehearsing, and Wasp was in the other room. And we had the actual big room that Motley Crue had, and Wasp had the medium room. And so when, we'd take breaks, Chris would come over and
steal our beer.
Well, he'd steal our beer, and then me and him and Tony would go into the bathroom and ski for a little while. And then he'd go back in and rehearse, and he thought Blackie never knew, that he was drinking or taking drugs. Oh, Blackie is dressed up in his faggot. This is with Blackie. He was all cool before they got signed, and when they got signed, and then when they went on their first tour to England, and they filmed that stupid video, whatever, live at the Lyceum, and they came back, and I ran into him at the Rainbow, and then I'm like, "Hey, Blackie, so how was the trip to England?" And he's like, "How am I supposed to know who you are, man? I've been around the world. I've seen millions of people. I've done all sorts of stuff, and I'm supposed to remember you?" And I'm thinking, you dickhead, you just saw me a month ago. And you only went to England. You weren't around the world, so he's a dickhead.
What was his real name? Blackie Guzman?
Steve Guzman or Steve something or other.
And Ace Steele told me to go up to him and call him by his first name.
Yeah, and he goes, "I don't." What do you say?
He says, "That's not my name. My name's Blackie."
Yeah.
And he got all offended, but he didn't do nothing because I was a lot bigger than him.
Yeah, he's a punk. There's a lot of Wasp stories. I used to go down.
Malice, when you guys were jamming with him, and we were at his house over in the Hollywood Hills, and he had that drum machine, and you guys were trying to get a demo going or something.
Yeah.
And Trey came down, and the Malice guy says, "This guy sucks."
Yeah, but the drummer for Malice had a really cool studio in his basement, and it was right across the street from where Jim Morrison used to live.
Oh yeah.
And we recorded like 4 demos, and it was really
where they charged like $50
good
for a 6-pack.
Yeah, across the street at that stupid store in Hippie Canyon or whatever it was.
But, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, what else? I'm trying to think. There's a lot of other things, but I just can't think right now. I put myself on the spot. I gotta write things down and then do this.
Maybe we gotta start drinking. It'll come back to us.
Yeah.
Armos.
We live in Burbank.
Who else did we party with?
Well, there was one time. Okay, this is one thing that I was at the Troubadour seeing L.A. Guns with my friend Ben, and right across from us was Axl Rose with his girlfriend at the time. This is just before they just got signed, or just before they got signed. And she was, making eyes at me because I used to be good looking. And so when I went up to the bar, she went up and started talking to me. And then Axl got all pissed off, and he came up to us, and he's like, "You hitting on my girlfriend? What's wrong with you, man? What's up? You want to fight? We want to fight?" And I'm like, "Oh, gee." And this guy was like a midget, and I was like 7 feet tall with my hair and my boots. So I just punched him right in the face, and he went down, and I took off. Because that's the way you fought in the 80s. Because you had heels, man. You can't fight. And then couple years later, when they made it, and I was at the Cat House with another girl with this idiot named Larry, Axl was there, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go apologize to him and introduce this other chick to him, and because she wanted to meet him. So he's running around the Cat House like a cat on catnip. And so I followed him. He went up into the little booth where they, play the music, and we followed him up there, and I tapped him on the shoulder, and he turned around, and he looked at me, and I'm like, "Dude, probably don't remember, but, Troubadour, blah, blah, blah." And he's just staring at me. And I go, "So is everything cool?" And he's like, and he just fell right on his face. And that was it. And that was the last time I saw Axl. Oh, and then one time my ex-wife was, when we separated, and she got a house out in Woodland Hills out by that fish-faced looking singer from Warrant. He was in love with her, and it pissed me off. So me and my bass player friend Tony went to a party, and Warrant just got signed and got all this money, and he pulls up to the party in this friggin' Corvette, I think. And he comes into the party, and he walks in, and I just again punched him right in the face, and he fell into down in the hallway, and me and my friend took off. So that's a couple of things.
Remember we were at that party, where was that? When that guy was boning those two girls?
Yeah, but that's nothing. We need
supposed to be you.
No, but they people want to hear about, like,
I don't have any more stories.
I know.
I can't. I just can't think of them.
I can't either. So we're gonna have to
probably erase it, edit it.
No, I'll put it on YouTube, but there's gonna be a part 2 and maybe 3, and we'll write it down and try to remember more stuff. Because there's stuff with Rat and Wasp and a lot of stuff with the Motley Crue. I talked to Mick all the time when I was a kid, like 16, 17.
What about when Rudy peed on
18? Oh, well, what happened is we were talking to Peter Criss outside Gazzari's. And then Bill Gazzari comes up into the parking lot and starts talking to Peter Criss. I'm like, what the hell? We were talking to him. This was the guy in Kiss. This is like 1987 or 8 or whatever. So, Gazzari is talking to Peter, and my drummer had to pee. So he just whipped it out and started peeing on Bill Gazzari's leg. Just psst. And Bill got, "You son of a bitch, get out of here, down the head." And so we were banned from Gazzari's for life. And then my other band that I was in, Fatal Attraction, we played there and threw pumpkins full of blood off the balcony and splashed his new, what do you call it, monitors. And he got pissed off again and we're banned again. And then we played with the Randy Rhoads tribute band there, and that was the last time. And a few months later, they tore the old place down, and now it's the Key Club.
It smelled like pee.
Yeah, but I got some relics. So there you go for now. It's not much, but yeah, try to make it better. So there's Gary Moore.
Yep.
There he is.
I was the best roadie when I was sober.
Yes.
Which was never, so.
Right. And I was the best guitarist when I was sober, which was never, so.
There you go.
And I'm still the best guitarist, which is never, so. Bye.